my big brother. I love him. And Liza is my other brother's wife. So I'm stuck in a position where I just gotta, play my role and mind mine.
Respect. Go.
I got one more question. Don't want to be a player. Were you? I heard something you supposed to be on that before, Joe. How'd that work out?
No. It's Joe. For Pun's first album, for Pun's first album, I had left the block and I was on the run for some that we ain't even got to talk about. You know what I mean? And but for Pun's second album, I was on about 75% of the records. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when he passed away, I guess for political purposes and shit like that, they felt like putting a bigger A-list artists and people that was already moving and making noise on the record. So they took me off of quite a few records. And the most significant record that really bothered me was It's So Hard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So It's So Hard, I co-wrote the hook. I sang the hook with my entire heart. It was a record that was near and dear to me. And they felt like they needed to get someone else on it. So they put RL. They tried to get RL to sing it. And they wasn't really too fond of how RL sang it. So they had Darnell Jones come in the studio. Mm-hmm. And I worked with Darnell Jones for about like 2 days till we got it right. And if you really listen to, shout out to Darnell Jones, incredible guy, extremely talented dude. I'm a big fan of his shit, extremely big fan. I had him in the studio for about 2 days till we got it right. And if you really listen to the record, it is really me singing. Mm-hmm. And they took a track of Darnell Jones' lead and they put it on top of mine. So if you listen to the backgrounds and you listen to the riffs and all that, it's really me singing on that record. You know what I mean? They took Loco Bananas off of the album. I was on that. Pun's whole idea of having me on the album was like a major introduction to the world of me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? This is Tonysunshine. This is who he is. And guess what? He's on half of my album. After that, it was my turn to go. You know what I mean? Pun passes away and things took a different turn. I respected it because he wasn't there to voice his opinion. And I was just trying to get in the game by any means necessary. So I played my position, as well as 100% the record. I didn't get no credits for creative, control on the record and just putting the ideas together. But that's cool. I was just happy to be part of the game and be in the rooms. You know what I mean?
The business is a dirty game. And
it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. I in the beginning of my career, I really never got no type of recognition and no type of checks and shit like that, publishing the royalties for my shit. I had to wait till I got older and smart and get into my craft a little more. You know what I mean?
You got into it early too. I mean, so who was there to tell you what to sign? And I'm not saying anybody did you dirty, but who was there to tell you, nah, dog, you deserve more than this, you deserve more than that? If you could go back and do it different, how would you do it different?
Well, I would definitely be on top of my game and absorb more. You know what I mean? Because as an artist, as an individual, it doesn't matter your age. You have to be taught from the very beginning to be observant, to be on top of your game and study your craft. And that's just something that we was all young and dumb. I'm not going to blame nobody, and I'm not going to say anyone took advantage, because we all got taken advantage of. Each and every one of us, including Fat Joe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We all had to learn. We all had to receive bumps and bruises, and we all had to wake up at some point. So it is what it is. You got to charge it to the game. There ain't an artist in this world right now that can say that they didn't get jerked some way, somehow, one way or another.
Fact.
You know what I mean? It's just part of the growing pains. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Talk about growth. I mean, you talk about wild ass stories. You say anything we probably heard was true. Obviously, we know how living in the hood, you don't really think you're going to get to a certain age. So once you do, it's kind of like, damn, the twilight of your life. You see Fat Joe and what he's doing now. You see what you're doing. Just talk about how proud it is to see you guys at the age you are doing the things you guys are doing.
Well, I'm definitely happy to be here, man. The things I've been through and the places the rooms I've been in, and you know, there was a time where I thought I was going to see past a certain age because I was a wild boy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I didn't think I was a wild boy, but you know, being told I was a wild boy and then turning around now at the age I'm at and the growth that I've allowed myself to have, I turn around and I realize, like, yo, yo, I was a wild.
Yeah.
I was, you know what I mean? Like X Tentacion and 6ix9ine before the snitching and Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda and all them little niggas. Like I was all of them at the same damn time. You know what I mean? Like on my mother. If there would have been social media back then, the way it is now, like there would have been no stopping me. You know, back then, what back then was being done now was frowned upon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So 15 years ago, when I was making trap music, you know what I mean, minus the trap beats, and I was the R&B singer that was rapping, they was telling me, yo, that's not the wave. R&B singers don't do that, and they don't move, and nah, they don't. You know, fast forward 15 years later, is the wave. I was trying to convince them 15 years ago. You know what I mean? They kept telling me it wasn't it. I kept telling them, yo, but Lauryn Hill. Nah, but Missy Elliott, there's no male artist doing it. And I'm Spanish, I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, yo. So, you know, I wanted to wear the 15 chains with the hat to the side and the construction Timbs, and they kept trying to convince me to wear the silk shirt with the slacks. And I wasn't with it. You know what I mean? I wasn't with it. But, you know, I'm proud of what's going on now, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm not mad at what I went through or the things I had to learn to get to where I'm at. I'll say that I'm nowhere near where I'm supposed to be, but I'm blessed to be where I'm at, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? I'm blessed. I wake up every day. I'm able to provide for different families and as well as mines. Right now, through the COVID-19 situation, every week I send out anywhere from 25 to 30 boxes to less fortunate families, less fortunate children with special needs, disabilities, single fathers that are raising their children that don't have the proper supplies they need to survive during the COVID. Masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes, uh, disinfectant soap, Lysols, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm blessed. I can't complain. I'm in a position where I'm not the richest nigga in the world, nor am I the poorest guy in the world, but God has allowed me to provide for myself and others. I gotta say I'm blessed.
Absolutely.
Go.
Do you still keep in touch with some of the guys like Prospect, Armageddon, and Triple Snake?
We don't hang out. Like we don't hang out and shit like that. But
Right.
you know, we DM each other every now and then. We drop little comments on each other's posts. For the Loud Records anniversary, we all got together and hit the stage for Pun. You know, and it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? It was a beautiful thing.
Any chance of a Terrorsquad reunion anytime soon? If Joe was to put that together?
I don't see why not.
That'd
There was a point where I thought it wouldn't happen, and at the same time I wasn't with it. You know what I mean? But through growth and as time has went by, and just to see us together in the same room and see the happiness and positive vibes, I don't see why not.
Definitely, yeah, it was definitely one of my favorite groups growing up. Was my favorite group growing up, listening to the Terrorsquad. But I want to ask you too: have you been doing any ghostwriting at all for anybody lately, or situation? Ghostwriting? You doing any ghostwriting?
Uh-oh. That's the answer.